Welcome to the wonderful world of magical girls where everyone can work together for a common goal. As long as that common goal is stealing everyone else's prize and coming out the victor, without having to worry about who falls along the wayside. But since this is now turned into a fancy dress battle royale, I really wonder where it's going. Are we going to have to worry about the witches? Is that really the evil at hand? To find out, we're going to have to watch more. Obviously, making wishes and protecting those that you love doesn't come without a price. Is it too much to pay? Grab a drink so we can find out, and watch a bit more Madoka Magica. Having a magical girl-on-girl battle like this is not what I expected for early onset Madoka Magica, but then again, the head removal wasn't exactly on the cards either. But I do love the aspect ratio chosen for a scene like this. She might be a step above everyone else. Stay out of this for now, you know. You were saved once. Well, it seems to be to those who maintain composure. Seems like she's done her homework as well. If you've got someone that can just waltz into a battle like this, unfazed and so calm, and they know your name, I don't think you needed that many jumps, but cool. Well, saved? Sure, but can you please just explain a little bit more? You'd be a bit more concise in your warnings. I mean, sure, but when it's a friend like this, you can't exactly just walk away. If you meant to just, what, leave her? True, but since everyone's motives and whatnot seems to be a little obscure, I'm keeping a relatively open mind. You know, if she's been giving out these warnings a fair few times, if she's witnessed scenes like what happened with Mami and whatnot more than once, you can understand why she's become a little detached from it all. So come on, I've already told you this. If you're gonna just ignore me, then what's the point? Yeah, I think I'd be annoyed as well. I do like how kind of standard magical girl fare, all about peace, love, and friendship and everything that she stands for. In a world like this, where it is a lot less clear cut. And with Okay, interesting. Just hand it over. Nothing wrong there. I did not need to see that back opening just open. I'm not sure about that. But is it the same? The fact that they are constantly, a ticking clock trying to find another grease seed to reset their charm. Huh. So just, have a little backup. You can understand why they'd, let civilians take the brunt of damage more if it means picking up a bunch of grease seeds. Yeah. She was skilled. She had went through a bit of training. Indeed. These prodigies you speak of, are they a little closer than we realise? I mean, why do you think he was reaching out so much trying to recruit her? Yeah, just hurry up, make your decision. Make a contract. Considering they're on a journey to keep getting these grief seeds, what's wrong with pulling her in as well? Despite the warnings of those around you. What is this I was going to say, what is this arcade background business music? I say it's like a Dance Dance Revolution or Dog Drug something. Oh? Dog Drug Reinforcement, okay. It's just making these arrangements, You're better right now, you can deal with it, but without bloodshed, hopefully. What'd she get out of it? Ah, yeah, that's a kind of important point, I guess. If it turns out like she's the first to ever have been transformed into a magical girl, that wouldn't surprise me. How many hair flicks is she going to do? Is she willing to actually join in and have a little team battle then? I thought she wanted to work alone and earn. Okay. I don't know why you'd constantly have Pocky in some sort of tobacco replacement, but sure. Let it run. Yeah, let it run to hurt someone else. Sit down over a cup of tea, Starbucks or something. It is understandable. You've got a character that's kind of brought into this kind of world and is not built for it. At least, even if they are taught to have the most skill, the most potential out of everyone. Yep. You can't just let someone like that roam around. Yeah, it's not a witch. Isn't it extending your reason to be here? It is a very hibiki kind of thing, you know. We can become friends and see eye to eye, even if our world views are worlds apart. Yep. Well, she was kind of locked away at that time. Granted, she didn't witness that. Yeah, rather than just say that, how about actually fucking saying it? You know, explaining the situation. Hang on, she didn't just leave her to die. She was forced. It was by Mami's own hand that her death was ordained. But we know that Madoka isn't that kind of forward about things. She's not so confrontational. What would you do then? I mean, it's a very kind of strong standpoint, and one that most people can probably agree with. You know, you can't let it get worse. You know, nip it in the bud before it grows into a problem you actually have to worry about, before it hurts someone that well, I don't know why it's like someone you know makes it worse than just some random. Hits a little closer to home, sure, but which is going to lead her down a path that is quite dangerous. She is gung-ho on this mission, which I kind of like that kind of strong personality. Why was that dog so much more detailed? Higher manufacturing budget on the plushie. I thought it was, could have been someone breaking in. You never know, but no, just someone getting home late from work, burning the midnight oil. They each have their worries to think about. However, it is putting her in a path that you don't think you can follow. I mean, I'm not going to say self-righteousness and whatnot, but life is rarely so kind as just to fall into place with good intentions. They lose sight of themselves and the path. We've seen many a time before. And even if you are doing the right thing and not hurting anyone, there are people that would want to stand in the way, either just because, it's invading their plans or just making them look bad. Huh. Interesting. How far are you willing to go to help? Huh. So the kind of complete opposite. If she doesn't have her around and whatnot, maybe step away from the magical girl thing. That's an option. Or sometimes that may not ever happen. You don't realize that someone's actions are actually trying to help. Especially if she starts to hold it against her. And that in of itself is a major boon and her biggest flaw. Because some mistakes you make as an adult are much more harmful. And you can bounce back a little easier. That's why I'm grateful for all the mistakes in most of the mistakes in my life got me to where I am today, where I'm moderately okay with myself. Yeah, okay, I understand that point. That's why the drinking age in the UK is quite low. It definitely is difficult here in England. What was that major grin? Already gone home? Released already? Well, so the recuperation on his legs went well. The rehab there. I was about to say, does she know the address? God, it seemed quite close, so should... What kind of feeling are you getting from hearing this tune? Is it a song played of remorse or expectations? Been keeping tabs on her. So, what was her wish? To never get full? Seems to be a blessing and a curse. Altruism will get you nowhere in this world. Just take a step or two away from the road, please. I wasn't enjoying that shot of the cars. Excuse me? Are we going down the fucking misery route? You know, just break his ankles. He can't leave you then. I mean, it's a kind of you to offer. You know, maybe antagonizing them to this extent isn't the best idea. Yeah, somewhere with a lot less prying eyes. And I did look into getting one of those kind of laser keyboards. Don't know how decent it would be, though. Especially not for gaming. The latency would probably be absolutely terrible, let alone the recognition of where my fingers are. Seems a battle is about to be underway. This is a very Monogatari background. I'm gonna make that kind of comparison a fair bit, I think. Tsundere Digivolve 2. I mean, it's a battle that will just end in disaster. She'll get hurt probably worse than ever before. If you just let it... Ah, hello. Is she going to be the referee? I mean, is she going to be okay with those that don't follow simple orders? I mean, can't transform if that's gone. I'm not sure that's the greatest idea, though. That's going on a journey. Where the hell? She's like, oh, that's not something that should... throw away your friend? What kind of death was that? Instant. So, being separated from the little device thing, can't remember what it's called. Just, it's like being separated from the wish. You've not upheld your bargain, therefore death. I guess as an instant thing to kind of get it 100 meters. Right. The real Sayako was in that little egg. Uh-huh. So the bodies themselves are just homages, images of the real. Okay, that makes sense. Distilling the soul into an external object. I mean, confirmation that souls exist, I guess. Isn't it convenient? Separating the soul from the shell. If you can keep it in a safe place and constantly be in an area within that 100-meter radius, you're all the same. If you've made the contract, you are nothing but puppets. Flesh mechas, really. Is she out of breath after chasing down that truck? A little. Is it so easily returned? Yes. But also the fact that Kyubei is kind of so disconnected from what seems like logical and normal. There's nothing wrong with this. It's for your benefit, right? We're going to have to explain it all again. Definitely time for a sit-down chat. If they are no longer human, the price of being a magical girl is having a soul extracted, stored inside this Horcrux. At least now we know, instant death. Go for the little item. They got a necklace? Well, that might be it. Does that mean that if Mami didn't get completely devoured, she would still be alive if was it an egg as well? Didn't get destroyed? Not sure what kind of life it would be. How much magical needing is going to have to undo that. But I do like just how dystopian the idea of magical girls are in this story. It's a life of fighting for humanity, doing the right thing, getting rid of these evil witches that corrupt people's desires and souls. Yeah, but you lose your own humanity. What an interesting art style. I very much liked the end of some of the Monogatari endings, which had that kind of art style. this show is just getting more and more dark and interesting. Seeing that the realm of Magical Girl is not all sunshine and rainbows, not that I thought that from the beginning, considering some of the things we saw, but now the very essence of oneself is extracted. You become a husk of what you were originally. The person themselves is unaware of this existence as well. Granted, Cube is kind of right. This is somewhat better, you know, as long as this tiny thing doesn't take any damage, you yourself can continue to exist completely unfazed. I mean, that would help in quite a lot of circumstances. Get a lot of bubble wrap and a nice little box for it to sit in. And how to keep it 100 within 100? I mean, me personally, perfect. Just up on a shelf somewhere, nice and safe. I don't leave the house anyway. 100 meters seems about a fairly good perimeter. Sign me up. Oh wait, that means actually fighting back and finding witches. And I think I found a drawback. The idea, though, that you constantly find these grief seeds in order to discharge the build-up of gunk in your soul itself. Not this little symbol of the magical girl power. No, your soul itself is getting corrupted. Okay, was that in the fine print? Did anyone get to read a contract? I remember anything like that during the initial talks. This, the more we see of Cube, the more alien he's feeling. Not understanding basic normal social cues and things that probably should be explained, even if it's this is for your benefit. What are you talking about? No injuries, at least not immediately fatal ones. I don't understand why you're all so upset. This happens all the time. Definitely no introspection needed there. It's all your fault. You're the ones out of touch. Okay, interesting. See how far that line of thinking for Cube takes him. The fact that more people get signed up. I kind of understand the warnings given now, but yeah, they were veiled into a big reveal like this. I'm expecting there to be more as well. If she knew that this was the case, put it in plain English, or Japanese, I guess. Let them hear this before they get forced into a decision, forced into a wish. Definitely go in the cons column. Trying to weigh up the good and evil about all of this. This... I like the back and forth, the tit for tat, the at each other's throats. Oh, no, we're not. Hang on, we're all in the same fucked boat? Wow. And we know that anyone at any point of time, anywhere, is likely to fall under the spell, the danger of the witches and familiars and whatnot that are out there. For every second they spend fighting amongst themselves, someone else falls. Whenever a cult is born. Interesting story. Interesting world that is being built here. Where did Cube come from? What started off the witches and whatnot? Is there anything else out there that is pulling the strings? I really want to see. I really want to watch the next one now. But unfortunately, we're going to have to wait another week. I don't. But if you enjoyed this one, Let me know if I entertained you, and if you think I've earned it today, consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss out future uploads. And of course, leave a like and a comment down below. Let me know if anything I've missed, any impertinent details that may have gone over my head. Check the links in the description as well to hop on over to my Discord for all notifications whenever a new video comes up. Memes and votes for new shows, and a friendship or two that may blossom and fall apart once we all be at each other's throats. But definitely take care of yourselves. Get a late night drink. Forget about the worries of your life. I'll see you for the next one. I need to thank each and every one of my patrons for not throwing me or my channel over the edge of a moving highway. So, to Aegis TR, Darky26, Guado, Kite, Reds Racer, Ultra Pouring, Wolfie Sensei, Zug, and everyone else, I really hope we can continue to watch anime without having to mess with our mortal forms. Unless it means getting to watch even more, in which case, yeah, sign me up.